memorable Komets from the past, one that we felt just had to be talked to, and before Christmas besides, was Darcy Keating. And Darcy, of course, had some great years for the Komets, very popular with the fans, and decided to kind of chuck hockey to be a policeman of another sort, I guess. Right, Darcy?
That's right, Bob.
And you've been now a provincial policeman in Ontario for how many years?
Just about finishing my 14th year. In fact, it's kind of funny you called because it's just 14 years yesterday since I moved from Fort Wayne to the Sioux.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes, it is.
The Sioux was your original home anyway.
Well, yes, it was. I was born in a small town in southern Ontario, but lived in northern Ontario in Sault Ste. Marie since, I guess, since 1969.
Yeah, and of course, Darcy got his hockey start as a junior player, and I guess that would have been in the Sioux area before you got your scholarship to Notre Dame, huh?
That's right. I played for the junior A team here, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, who incidentally won the Memorial Cup last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
So another big one to celebrate as an alumnus, huh?
Yes, it was. It was a lot of fun. It was a big week, and interestingly enough, David Norris, who I played with for a number of years, spent the whole week up here, he and his family, and so we had some old times to talk about when Dave was up here.
I imagine covering everything from that Muskegon dance to the rest of hockey.
Oh, yes, it was.
You must have some memories and recall from Fort Wayne because you almost made your home here at one time.
Well, I certainly liked Fort Wayne. I came there, and I guess it was January 1st, in fact, it was, I believe, of 73. And the following spring, we won the Turner Cup, and that still is, I think, the last time the Komets won the Turner Cup, is it not?
Yeah, up until last spring, it's the first time that it's happened, and of course, we made a 20-year anniversary of it by winning it last year.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I recall that now.
And it's a strange thing, as you probably recollect, that was the year in 73 when none of the Komets made any of the All-Star teams during the regular season.
That's right. Well, I come halfway through the season, and quickly took to the city, and the people there treated me very, very well, and Fort Wayne was certainly a great place for me to live, and I stayed there, I guess, until 79, and would gladly have made my home, but the lure of the North was too much, Bob. I had to come back.
Well, I know, you had at that point in time, I thought, with the Business Machines organization, a real good spot, but sort of your aim in life at some point was to become a policeman, wasn't it?
Well, I had friends who had become policemen or were working here, and it always, I guess, it's kind of been in the back of my mind, and the opportunity was there for me too. I knew people who were in the upper echelons of management there. It indicated to me that if I had applied, that the opportunity would be there for me to become one, and I did that, and I've never regretted it since. I've had just a wonderful career here, and of course, most of my family is here. My parents are still here, and it was kind of a natural thing for me to come back to the Sioux. And again, I just had a terrific time here, and my boys played hockey. My daughter figure skates and plays basketball and whatnot, and Monica, of course, is still teaching and keeping me in bread and butter.
Well, and reminiscing a little bit, and it hardly seems possible, number one, that it was 20 years ago that Darcy played here, and even, 14 years ago that you left here. Do you see beyond, like the Dave Norrises, any of the other fellows who played in the Fort Wayne area, Darcy, since you've been roaming around through Ontario?
Not that much. Most of the fellows that I recall from there, of course, Dave I see more or less, or talk to at least, once or twice a year, I suppose. And I was back for an old-timer game. Oh, gee whiz, I can't remember when it was. Is it really 20 years, Bob?
That's incredible. 1973 to 1993. You haven't changed a bit.
No, I haven't. It's easy to say over the phone. But, no, I really haven't kept in contact with anybody. I spoke to Robbie Laird. That would be the last time I was in Fort Wayne. Again, it'd be a number of years ago. But the other fellows I played with, particularly the guys from the Turner Cup, I really haven't seen. Although I spoke with Rob Tudor.
Oh, sure.
Last spring, He's in Saskatchewan, and he's involved in the coaching aspect, and he had phoned me. He had planned to come down for the Memorial Cup, so we had quite a little chat, and we exchanged Christmas cards with some of the players, notably Al Dumba.
Oh, sure.
And we talk with him occasionally. Every once in a while, the phone rings in the middle of the night, and Greg Pilling's on the line. So
I can understand that. He does the same thing with me.
That's right. So there is some contact there, but I suppose not as much as I would like to have, I guess.
But at the same time, I guess once you get that fraternity and you've played with them, especially when you get close as we did with the Turner Cup team and had that kind of players and that kind of people, it sort of lasts a lifetime. You just kind of, you never lose the friendship.
That's right. And, of course, you always hear about them all the time. And I recall, again, during the World Cup, they had a number of party, you will, basically every night, hospitality,
sure,
what have you. And Kenny Schenkel was down for the Cup.
Oh, yeah.
And if you recall, Kenny took over from Mark Boileau at Pittsburgh.
Right.
And that would be the year that I signed with Pittsburgh. I guess that would be the spring of 73, or the fall of 73.
Yeah, right.
Of course, he didn't remember me. I didn't do anything at camp that he remembered before, but there were some interesting moments there when speaking with Kenny.
Yeah. Any regrets, Darcy, that maybe you would have rather been a hockey player at the National League level, or are you pleased and happy with exactly what you've done?
Well, I'm very, very happy here. The only regret was that I didn't have the opportunity to do my police work first and then hockey afterwards. I think it would have changed my outlook on things. But in terms of my career, I guess was the knock about me was that I never really put out as much as I could have, and I suppose to some extent that was true, except for maybe the odd game.
Well, of course, I think too. Sometimes you find people with outstanding physical skills like you had. It's easier to play the game because it comes more naturally, and maybe you just don't always realize that you have to grind it.
Well, that's really true, and at the time when I was down there, I really felt that. I was playing forward, I was playing defense, and actually the year I was drafted, I only played 14 games, and then the year after, when I came to Fort Wayne, it was almost a month before I started to play. And, I don't really know if my heart was in it all that great. Like I say, we had some great moments down there.
Sure.
And, so, it's the old thing, if you dwell on the past and, wish you'd been doing something else, maybe you wouldn't be as successful at what it is you're doing now, and so I don't really dwell on it that much.
Well, it's obvious, I think, when you keep looking ahead that you find your success and you find your own internal peace as well, and it looks as though you've hit it exactly the way you wanted it to be.
Well, I'm very, very happy. I've often we go back and think about the way things were in the past, and when I sit here and the job I have now is extremely rewarding, and I just can't imagine myself doing anything else. I thought, geez, if there was something else I wanted to do, what would it be? And I get right back to where I am. I said, well, what better answer is that?
And you have a nice family to go along with it.
You bet. I have a daughter who's just turned 14. She's in just her first year of high school, which is a whole new adventure, believe me. And my son is 11 years old. He'll be 12 in April, and he's an up-and-comer. He's a solid hockey player.
Any redheads in the family?
No, but my daughter's really distraught because her hair is turning red.
Well, we've got many pleasant memories of Monica and yourself here, and I know you have become another one of those focal points of conversation. When a bunch of the old timers sit down and have a gab session and a couple of laughs over old times, somehow there's a Darcy Keating story that gets in there as well, Darcy.
Well, I really appreciate that, and I certainly do appreciate the moments I've had there. I do have a lot of contact there. I don't know if you remember Pete Mallock.
Sure.
Pete and I talk regularly, and he visits here quite often, and of course his wife Jackie, and I have other good friends down there, Kim and Joyce Gooden, who actually I haven't talked to in a while, and all the old players. There's still some around there, Robbie Irons and so on. That
of course, Robbie's working with me on the broadcast every time.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's working.
I'm surprised. Do you have a chance to get any words in?
Once in a while, yeah. I pinch him, and when he yells out, it's my turn, you know. But no, we, the 50,000 bounce into the soup pretty good. You ought to check us out some night. Of course, you're usually too busy, I guess.
No, actually, I do get it. Usually, around 7 o'clock is about the time that we can get it in there.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it only hang on for maybe an hour at times.
Well, one of these days, when we get into the summer season, when I get packed up and running, I'm going to go over the International Bridge there, and I'm going to have you show me where the heck I can do some good trout fishing. Well,
you get up here, Bob, because you're always welcome, and I think maybe we can find a spot for you.
I'll bet we could. Darcy, I appreciate your time and having a chance to run over some old memories and find out what's happening to Darcy Keating and family. And we appreciate your time. Wish you well and have a great holiday.
I thank you very much, and Bob, and wish everybody down there a Merry Christmas. And if anybody gets up my way to say hello, please drop